Welcome to Asians for Liberty. I'm Cathy Kiang, and I'm very excited to share with you the story of how my family immigrated to America, which I'm greatly blessed and forever thankful for. My grandparents from both my mother's side and my father's side have lived through communism in China, and yet they both come from very different backgrounds. On my father's side, my great-grandfather was a mayor of a province in China. He had a large mansion which housed my grandfather's troop as they were coming home after fighting the Japanese. This is when he and my grandmother met for the very first time and fell in love. But when the Chinese Communist Party took over, they immediately went after the wealthy. You might ask, why did they do that? Well, it was to redistribute the wealth. This is where the landlords had their land confiscated from them, and they were subjected to mass killing by the CCP and former tenants. The estimated death toll in China from this time ranges from hundreds of thousands to millions. To escape this persecution of the wealthy, my great-grandfather disguised himself as a poor fisherman and escaped to Taiwan by boat. However, my great-grandmother was captured by the CCP and placed in prison, where sadly she committed suicide. On my mother's side, my grandparents were very poor. They labored in rice paddy fields daily while enduring leeches all over their bodies. They wanted a better life for their family and started making plans to move to America. After years of planning, they first made it to Hong Kong, and then in 1968, with 6 children, no money, and no knowledge of the English language, my family for the first time stepped foot onto American soil. 3 years ago, my grandmother declared on her 94th birthday that this was the happiest moment of her life. With years of hard work and determination, the family was eventually able to open a successful restaurant, buy a home, and send the kids to college. My grandmother's American dream had finally come true. Like so many other families that escaped communism from China, Vietnam, Cambodia, they all fled to America for freedom and for the opportunity to prosper. However, the mainstream narrative has now changed. America is now taught as being a country that was built on systemic racism, so that only those with white skin color would prosper. Surprisingly, those who had families that fled from communism and worked hard to achieve the American dream, many of them are falling for this false narrative, coming from a dangerous ideology that has crept into our schools, our churches, and our communities. In 1992, 55% of Asian Americans voted for values which embraced individual liberties, free market, meritocratic systems, and limited government. In 2020, the number that voted for these same values had decreased by almost half. The very schools that Asian American parents work hard to send their children to are now brainwashing the students to become victims and to hate the country that offers the greatest freedoms and opportunities to prosper. We have turned people to hate America, to become divided based on skin color and sexual orientation. We have weakened our nation and the enemies have infiltrated. Our individual freedoms are quickly eroding, and much of this erosion is because of our lack of willingness to fight for our liberties and freedoms. Our goal here at Asians for Liberty is to shed light on these false narratives and to help the Asian community understand and remind them the necessity of liberty and to claim back the America they had fled to for freedom. I hope you will join me on this journey together. You can support Asians for Liberty by listening and subscribing to our podcast or by making a tax-deductible donation at asiansforliberty.com. If you'd like to share your family's journey to America, please let us know. We would love to hear from you. As we are approaching the 1-year anniversary of the passing of my grandmother, I'm committed more than ever to honor her sacrifices and bravery and help to defend the freedom, liberty, and autonomy of all people. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.